welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of August 22nd to August 28th. This is a pretty big week. The energies are shifting. We've got 2 planets changing signs and a new moon. So let's get to it. So on Monday, August 22nd, we have the sun moving into Virgo. Happy birthday, Virgos out there. It's my season too. A little partial to it. Sun moves into Virgo at 9:16 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Monday. And this is bringing now our energy from fiery Leo into earthly Virgo. Oh my goodness, I almost said Taurus. Virgo. Virgo is a mutable earth. It is able to ground topics into reality. It's able to dodge and weave and create foundations on the fly. It's a very mutable sign, meaning that it can kind of flow with change and it's flexible. And the groundedness means now we're using all those wonderful energies of Leo and now grounding those into reality. So if you think about Leo season, as we move out of Leo season, that is that fiery, passionate inspiration, creativity, connection, having this like wonderful passion that drills down into certain things and really understanding our light, our unique gifts and talents. And now how do we kind of hone those gifts and talents into now being of service, Virgo? So that is about getting into the details. This is about really putting into work and inspiring your daily routines, your health habits. How are you now taking those ideas and all the connections and things that you've made in fiery Leo season and doing something with it that's like being of service? Now, Virgo, as everything with the zodiac, has its beautiful gifts and talents, but then also the obstacles when it's turned up too loud, right? And when it's just perfect. So when it's just perfect, it is being of service, it's helping people, it's really wanting to create something that really elevates people's day. It's healthy, it's clean. Virgos love cleanliness, organization, spreadsheets, checklists, all those things getting kind of detailed and really getting things going, right? We're not just sitting in the idea of things. Virgos like to make things happen. If you want to make something happen, give it to a Virgo and they will take care of it. Details organized. Whenever I'm in a group and if everybody's like humming and hawing about what to start or where to go, it's like I cannot stop myself from saying, all right, let's go. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. We're very good in crisis moments as well. You see a lot of Virgos in nursing, in health professions, helping and healing because they kind of take the reins and get things done, right? Get things done. I don't sit in the idea or the contemplation. That drives a Virgo crazy. But turned up too loud, it's over detailed. It's that you can't move forward until you have everything set up. It is perfectionist. It's judgy. Oh, I told you what to do. Why aren't you doing? You'll see a lot of memes about that, which I think is hilarious. I was extremely opinionated as a kid. And as I started to develop my empathic skills, my intuition, and going through my grief counseling and all of the psychology courses I've taken, I understand other people's points of view. And I also have Libra in my chart. And we're going to talk about Libra this week as well. Libra is about seeing both sides of the equation, understanding both sides of what's happening. So I actually have that ability now that really has come through in some Libra ways in my chart that now kind of really mitigate that opinionatedness, which can still pop up every now and again. And it's interesting when I catch myself in that, because that is actually a trauma response. When you're so opinionated and you know where you stand, no one can push you off of that. And how pushed around was I as a kid? Probably a lot. So interesting when you see these things come up in you, ask, oh, where did that come from? How did I become this way? Right? Sometimes it's in our DNA. I can organize. I've always been an organized kid. My room was always clean. My bed's always made. As a kid, you never had to tell me to do that. And we're a family of Virgos. We always like cleanliness in this house. On this day, so be careful during these next 4 weeks when the sun is in Virgo, not to get so bogged down in the details, so bogged down in the judgment of others and yourself. Oof, Virgos can be really hard on themselves. And controlling, wanting to control everything and make sure I've got all the details and you do this and you do that and become really bossy. So be careful with that. Now, on this day, another beautiful aspect, which Mercury is Virgo's ruling planet. Mercury is about communication, ideas, thought processing, and really knowledge, right? We love knowledge and using that knowledge to help people. So Virgo is actually the use of that knowledge to make things better, whereas Gemini is the gathering of information. So they're both, Mercury rules both of them, but they're different. Mercury's role in both signs are different. So something to think about. So Mercury is trine to Pluto, and Mercury is at the last degrees of Virgo in this time of the chart, because or in the time of the year. As we move into Thursday, Mercury is going to change signs. So we're coming to the last degrees of a sign. And when we get planets that move through the last degrees of any sign, it becomes so much that sign that it's almost asking us, did we learn the lesson of that sign? So it can become kind of harsh, right? It's so much of something. You know, we always sort of say moderation is the key, right? And when you have too much of something, you get sick, or you kind of get sick of it, right? So Mercury is in this final stages of Virgo, and then it's trine, which is a very helpful, positive, harmonious aspect to Pluto. Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation. It is the shadow. It is, you know, transforming things. It's pressure. It's our greatest fears come to bear. And when they work together, it can be very penetrating. It can be very great for research, for investigations, for getting to the heart of the matter, uncovering secrets, right? If I see that someone has Mercury trine Pluto in their chart, they likely are someone who really loves to use information to uncover secrets. I just recently had a fascinating client who is going into her second career in this last third of her life, and she's a genealogist. She wants to be a genealogist, and she has all of the aspects for digging up the secrets of our past, and where's our genetic line going, and where is our ancestry, right? That is like a classic Mercury trine to Pluto moment. So Mercury at the last stages of Virgo trine Pluto, this can be a really great day to uncover things, to get things going, to make kind of clearing the clutter. That's Virgo as well. Clearing out the clutter, it's going to give you that momentum to get to the heart of the matter and get rid of anything that's no longer serving you. Also a great day to understand outmoded beliefs and ideas and things that are sort of, they're done. They've done their usefulness, and you're excited to let it go. This is not sad. This is excitement. This is like, yes, I don't need that. Or selling it on Kijiji. You can make some money on that. So psychology, outdated modes of beliefs, uncovering hidden information, investigation, research, going deeper into topics. This is great. Great for really penetrating conversations as well. But because it's at the last degrees of Virgo and it's Pluto, you have to just be careful that you're not being so overwhelming with your intensity and overwhelming people around you. Maybe they feel like pressured, because this is like very deeply passionate, informational kind of investigation sort of thing. So just being aware of that. Now, as we move into Wednesday, August 24th, we have Uranus going retrograde. So that is also a planet changing direction. So I probably should have put that at the beginning as well. Uranus changing direction. This is big. So anytime Uranus changes direction, we really feel that in the collective. So Uranus is the planet of the great awakener. He's evolution, rebellion, eccentricities. This is our unique gifts and talents. This is what makes us shine. And so when Uranus is retrograde, especially in the birth chart, this can feel like we're hiding our eccentricities. We're hiding our vulnerabilities. We're trying so hard to follow the status quo, but to the point where we lose our own individuality, and we can rebel for a little bit, and then we come back in alignment with the society's views of us. Whereas Uranus direct in your chart is like, here I am, I've got purple feathers in my hair, I'm wearing a boa, I've got, you know, jewel in my forehead, my hair is different colors, you know, it's like, this is me, right? It's like Boy George from Culture Club, going back to those days. Boy George, like that's very Uranian. So if you think about kind of that, when Uranus goes retrograde, we hide that. So Uranus is going slower than the Earth, so it's going to slow down, and he's already stationary direct this week. So it's going to be an intense week of shifts and changes. And this can help us to really get rid of things that are no longer really kind of where they're holding us back. And of course, they're holding us back for a reason because they feel like safety, right? And Uranus takes that safety blanket and goes, not today. You don't get to be safe today. You get to go and be who you came here to be. Your soul is excited when Uranus goes retrograde. Our ego excited is like, oh my God, oh, I don't want to let go of this stuff. So revolution, rebellion, changing foundations, because Uranus is in Taurus. So Taurus is about foundations, about money, banking, relationships, things that we value that really last the test of time, right? Think of like commodities like gold, resources, the earth, Mother Earth, climate change. Like those are all kind of Taurus type of themes. So when Uranus goes retrograde, we might uncover more ways to be great stewards of the earth. It might be uncovering ways that you're squandering your money. It might uncover ways that your relationships aren't really serving you. And how can you now be good stewards of your money, your time, your energy, because you didn't come here for a long time. So this is a time now to really understand and be discerning, Virgo, with your resources, Taurus. And Uranus is going to bring that inward momentum now into like, yeah, it's going to actually feel like restlessness because you're not wanting this. So a lot of times we might not see it or be ready for change until the planets start to change direction and change houses and signs in our chart, because we feel like something's changing in us, but we can't put a kind of finger on it. And then when you come see an astrologer, we go, oh yeah, your sun has progressed now into a new sign. No wonder you feel different. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm meant to feel different. Yeah, you are meant to feel different. You are evolving. You're not meant to stay the same. You're not who you were when you were 12 years old, right? You are changing. So bringing accelerated transformation brings to the surface vulnerabilities and the talents that you keep hidden. So you might uncover something new about yourself or a new way of doing things, thinking outside the box. Uranus is kind of doing things differently, not following the status quo. So this is ingenious energy, actually. I love Uranus. It is really about suffering. Attachment is the root of all suffering. That's a Buddhist saying. So whenever you feel like you're suffering, Uranus is trying to like take something from your grip. It's like, what are you attached to? And let that go. You are meant to evolve. You are not meant to stay attached to identities that you've held in the past, and you are fluid. You're a fluid creature. All right, as we move into Thursday, August 25th, we now have Mercury changing signs. So leading up to this, we are sort of having that deep Mercury slowing down. Sorry, it's not slowing down just yet. It is in shadow. It's going to go retrograde September 9th, but it's going retrograde in an air sign. Air's intellectual ideas, kind of that inspiration. And whenever Mercury goes retrograde in an air sign, it really affects the way we think. It's affecting the way we communicate, the way we're kind of moving through life, if you will, with our ideas and inspiration. So as Mercury moves into the first degree of, or 0 degrees of Libra, it's already in shadow. So we are starting to see everything that you have been going through. It went retrograde as of August 21st. So everything between August 21st and September 9th, pay attention to what are you thinking? What are you looking at? What are you writing? What are you working on, right? Projects, ideas, inspiration, things that you are really kind of creating from yourself, speaking, writing, thinking, all of those lovely things. Those are all mercurial. So when we think about that, everything that you're working on between August 21st and September 9th, you will redo, reassess, realign with, review, all those RE words, when Mercury goes retrograde between September 9th and October 2nd. So just paying attention. These are the cycles. This is why I love astrology, because we can start to see these cycles and then start to be aware, conscious of what's happening and what the universe is trying to move us through versus feeling like a victim of our circumstances. Everything is happening to lay the bricks and foundations for the next steps of your life. So if you can understand what is trying to happen now, you will flow much easier with these waves, okay? Because we're going into some waves at the end of this year with some of the aspects that are coming up September, October, November, okay? So just surfing the waves. It's all good. We're in it together and you're doing great. You're doing great. So, with Mercury changing signs going into Libra from Virgo, very different energy between the two. So, Virgo just kind of went into what the sun moving into Virgo is. Remember, Mercury is our communication and our thought processing. So, when Mercury was in Virgo, which is at home in that sign, it's very detail oriented. It's getting things done. It wants to get organized. It's trying to move things together and move and go into really putting in place these daily routines and these health habits, making your life better and making the world better, being of service. Now, when Mercury moves into Libra, we are now more conciliatory. We're wanting to have conversations about things. Virgo can be a little bit, is very judgy, right? This is the way, get it done. I don't know why you're dilly-dallying, can be very impatient. Let's go, right? And I don't have time for people that are like, I don't know. I'm like, no, it's the right way, just do it. So when we go into Libra, we're being more conciliatory. We're having conversations. Libra is the great mediator. It can see both sides of the fence. If you know any Libras, they're beautiful people and they can see both sides of it. They make you feel very at home and welcome. And they're great negotiators and moderators because they can understand, they really want a win-win for everyone. That's balance and harmony, right? And so when Mercury goes into Libra, instead of getting things done, we can sit in the idea of, I know I want to do this thing, but I got this. And I know, so there can be a bit of indecision because it's like, you see both sides of it and you still can't make a choice and make a decision because one side does not clearly speak to you. You're just so good at finding the middle ground between the two of them. You don't know what to do. So this can be a time, really the benefits of this is to be very conciliatory, to find, it's an intellectual sign to really understand like the thoughts and ideas coming through, but also where are you giving away parts of yourself and your ideas to make other people happy? Right? Because Libras are the scales, right? And so this is me and this is we, right? When I'm with myself and when I'm with other people, can I maintain my me when I am with the we? Because what happens with Libra is they give and give and give from themselves because they hate conflict. They do not like confrontation and they want just everyone to get along. Why can't we just all get along and we all get what we want? And it's because people want different things, right? So what happens with Libra is we give and give and give from one side of the scale until it's so lopsided that we end up going F all of this. And then it right sides because everyone gets mad and they kind of go into their hole. And then now it right sides again and then it starts again. So it's always this opportunity. Life presents multiple opportunities to figure it out and get it right and feel into what brings you joy. Sometimes changing patterns is really difficult because you haven't been there before. So this Libra aspect is going to slow down your decision making. You're going to avoid confrontation, but it's going to make people a little nicer. Is it truly nicer, or are people just not wanting to fight about it? You get to debate that, but it'll kind of bring more of that balance into your thinking as well. So it's positive until it's not, right? Just like all of astrology. Saturday, August 27th is the new moon in Virgo. This is a lovely new moon. New moons are a time to set intentions and plant the seeds for something new to grow that will take fruition or take root into when the next full moon in Virgo is. So the next full moon in Virgo is going to be March 7th, 2023. So whatever seeds you plant now, intention-wise, I want you to set an intention for something that's happening in your life. And the theme is going to be about wellness, your daily routines, your health habits, and where are you missing on details or falling behind because you're not actioning things, right? You're just sitting in the contemplation, the spiritual, this is lovely, but you're not grounding it into reality. So where in your life do you need to ground something into reality? Where can you take better care of yourself? What is your wellness-centered plans? What are your health habits? Where are you cleaning the clutter? Where do you need to get going? Okay, and you'll know one of those things is going to spark in your heart. That's the intention that you need to set. And whatever that intention is that you want to set for you to embody and to manifest, put it on the calendar for March 7th, 2023. That'll be the next full moon in Virgo, and see how your plans have taken shape. Now, there's a few aspects in play for this full moon, or new moon, excuse me, new moon. So the sun and the moon are the exact same degree, which is at 4 minutes of Virgo. So if you know where 4 minutes of Virgo in your chart is, you can look to see what house that is. And this new moon is taking place at 2:17 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday, August 27th, or 4:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had a lot of people who are in the East and they're always like, what time is that? Just add 2 hours. So the Virgo in me, come on, add 2 hours. Like that's the same. So the sun and moon are at the same degree of Virgo. They are squaring. Squaring is a conflict, a crisis, a challenge to Mars in Gemini. So whenever we have a square to Mars, we feel irritated. Mars is our motivation, our desire, our passion to move forward in life. And the moon is our emotions, our intuition, our nurturing being. I just want to hug you and snuggle and be on the couch. And then our sun is about, let's get going. This is my individuality. This is who I am. You know, I'm shining my light. It's my egoic side. It's my divine masculine. So the divine masculine, divine feminine, that's why it's such a great time to plant seeds, because literally those two sides of you are sitting at the same degree. You're making a decision, a choice, an intention that's really with all of you, a whole you decision, intention. And so that those two parts of us are actually squaring our motivation and our desire to move forward in Gemini, which is a very fast moving sign, and it is mutable air. So it's ideas, intellects, it wants to go. It doesn't want to think about things and talk about, and it wants to talk about things. They are such great conversationalists. They're very curious and communicative, but they can talk really fast. Geminis, when they get excited, they're and then they're all over the place, and you're like, where are you going? Because it's that mutable air. It just goes wherever it wants. It has no parameters holding it down, right? It's that beautiful ideas, and it's great creatives. They make wonderful storytellers, maybe branchy stories, but still really good storytellers, really great writers, really great speakers and eloquent as they're organizing their thoughts. They're wonderful at communication, and they really care about people as well. So this square is bringing up your irritation, your agitation. Why can't I move forward? Why can't I do what I want to do? Why don't you just get out of my way? Why don't you hurry up and make the damn decision already? And you're going to feel a little irritated. Your patience might be wearing thin. You want to take immediate action on something. And I'm going to tell you now, because Mercury is already in shadow, to just wait. You don't have to wait till, I mean, we're already so close to September 9th, but you still got time if you want to do something, but we're already in shadow. So if you do and make a big decision or a purchase or sign a contract, there can be, we're in that shadow period where it'll come back where you kind of see it in a new way. And you're like, I don't know, I shouldn't have signed that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know if I want to commit to that right now. And you go through a whole process of kind of realigning inside of you with what part of you said yes to this, right? So that's what Mercury retrograde is really meant to bring about, slow you down so that it's not always go, 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 hustle and grind it out, right? Ugh, those are gross words, but really it's about, can you just slow down? So with this new moon, you're going to have ideas and inspiration. And what I say always with the new moon, there is no light in the moon, right? The sun and the moon are sitting together. So the sun is literally kind of blocking up. You can't see, there's nothing. The moon is dark. It's the dark of the moon. There is no light in the moon to take your intention and bring it to fruition. So don't do anything with your intention until at least about 2 or 3 days after the moon. When the moon starts to, you see a sliver in the air, that are in this air in the sky, that is a time to start to put your intuition, your intention into action. So take some time, sit with your intention, let it percolate, let it sit on your heart. You can make all the plans for it. You can talk about where you want to go with it. If you want to attend my new moon in Virgo manifestation workshop, I'm actually going to have this one as a pre-recorded workshop because I'm going to be traveling. So if you want it, you can have it for life. It comes with a meditation, a law of attraction exercise, and the astrology by sign. So your sign will be covered as well. And then what this means for the collective. So this is just kind of a snapshot because I don't have an hour to talk about it. The workshop is an hour. And then I help you really solidify what your intention is, how to feel it, how to manifest it using a law of attraction exercise to do that. So take your time with it. It's okay. It's not going to manifest until March 7th. So you got time, and everything that you feel like you got to get going on or you feel behind. Oh, that's a good square to Mars, feeling behind. You're not. You're exactly where you need to be. And Virgo season likes to usher in, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, school, back to school here in Canada and North America. So with this back to school season comes like this great reset where we get back into our schedules, our daily routines, our health habits, kind of structuring our day, go into this kind of wild west land of summer where there's no timelines. Everyone's sleeping in. We don't know what day of the week it is. And then we come into September and everybody's back to school. Routines are back in. We've got drop-offs and pickups and activities and all that thing happening. So Virgo helps us to organize all of that, right? Yay, Virgo, helping us to organize our calendar and get everything together. And if you feel constricted by that, how can you Uranus retrograde is helping you to break free of those restrictions and say, where are you constricting yourself? What is your mindset? Do it differently. And it's kind of a mantra for the last quarter of the year for me, or the last 4 months of the year, is how can I think about this and do it differently now? Because I don't have to do it the way I've always been doing it. Where's an awesome solution that I can kind of present in my life? So the other things to take note of with this is Venus, what we love and value, is opposite Saturn, constriction, father time, responsibility, structure. So we're trying to find our way to especially our money, right? We want to do all the things. I want to take all the courses. I want to be free to have fun, and Leo, right? To express myself, but I have to pay bills. And then I can't really be myself because I got to pay the bills and I can't afford the clothes that I really want to look like myself, So there's that feeling of, can I be a responsible human being with my money, with my relationships, with the things that I value, my resources, which is your time, your energy, and still be responsible, but still be in your truth of who you want to be and the life you want to live, while still and embracing those unique parts of you that make you different from everyone else, Uranus. And Uranus is moving with the North Node in Taurus until February of 2023. So Uranus in Taurus is breaking up the old foundations for evolution. It is helping us to move into a karmic future that is more in alignment with our true values. We value humanity. We value each other. We value freedom, right? And depending on what country you live in, those values can change. And depending your background and your experiences, those values can change as well. But are you creating a future for yourself and humanity that is in alignment with your values? So that's also going to come up during this new moon. And that's going to be a theme that's going to carry into February of 2023. And it's going to get more intense as the year goes on for 2022. So that's sort of kind of a little glimpse as to what's coming. And then Sunday, August 28th, we have that Saturn and Venus opposition is going to become exact. So that's kind of building in strength. And then that will really play out next week as well, where we might feel constricted with our money. Maybe there might be some, if you've been putting off repairs on your car, which is actually reminding me, I've got to call and make a service appointment for my car. Or if you're, putting off the maintenance on the house or whatever, this is helping you to get that sorted, which is funny because I'm just making a list now in my head of all those things that I have to do. So what do you have to do? What have you been putting off? What are those things that you're like, oh, I'll do that, or I need a little bit more money for that? Don't put it off, because this energy is going to come back at you with, you should have taken care of it earlier. You've waited too long and now it's a bigger problem. And please mark my words, I feel like many of you watching this is going to need to do that. We always put it off until now we've got the flat tire, or we've skidded on the ice because we have bald tires, or we didn't take our car for servicing and now we have a seized engine or something. I mean, that's pretty severe, but you know what I mean? Those are examples of things I don't think is going to actually transpire for anyone on here. But where in your life have you been putting off things that you need to do that really would safeguard your best interest in the long run if you did it now? Like, one of the things that's coming to mind right now is I've got to get my furnace cleaned. It's been probably 5 years since I've had the furnace cleaned, and it's time, right? It's time. We all have allergies in this house. I've been putting it off, and I'm going to make the call this week to get that done before the winter comes. So where is that in your life, right? I'm so transparent. I always share with you my life and real examples from me. I hope that it helps you really internalize the astrology and see how it applies to you. So I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead. There is a lot of energy shifting, planets changing signs, one planet changing direction, and he's a big one. And then also the new moon in Virgo. So it's a big week, and it's all happening for you in the best ways, and you can use it all for your best and highest. And I hope I help you with that. So if you'd like, leave a message below and let me know what you loved about this video, or potentially what did you really relate to? That is actually more what I'm interested in. What did you really relate to in this video? I'm so curious. Have the best week ahead. Bye.